Are we on? Hey, we are on?
We are.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Trending Thursday on YouTube, live with Glenn E. Tompkins Jr. and my sidekick, Joey. Joey's my producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hello.
I am a senior instructor here. That's what I do. I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest. My pleasure to be here. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to be here. We appreciate that as well. For those of you who are new, by the way, if you want to feel compelled to chime in, to type in, do so. Understand though, everyone can see your type. So Jay, behave yourself. All right. Well, you are senior. I'm not that old. Don't even start, Trade Shark. Don't even start. Joey, you got your finger on the button and put him in the time out? All right. Good afternoon, Jake. Good afternoon, Badger. Is Badger still helping us out?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Badger. Thank you very much for helping us out, Tim. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, Jay. And again, Trade Shark is here. Again, if you feel enthralled to do, enthralled, is that a good word? You don't know. I don't even know why I'm asking you. If you feel inclined, that's a better word. If you feel inclined to want to chat in, please chat in. The interaction is what makes it fun. You're going to learn some things here about some stocks that you may be interested in or stocks that you may own, but you're going to have fun along the way. All right, Carlos, good afternoon, Carlos. Glad to see that you're here. And again, do not be afraid to chime in. I will shout you out. Everybody can see, but I will shout you out. Can we type our stocks in the room now? Don't start. Again, put them in timeout soon. One more time, put them in timeout. Not ready yet, Trade Shark. Not ready yet. For those of you who are new, a big welcome to you guys. Just to let you know, many of you could be coming on board off of the big financial summit that we had this past week. Wow, that was an awesome 12 hours worth of talking and presentations from across the globe. So if you were there, man, thank you for being there to support us for that. Joey played a big role in the background because the seamless transitions from the people across the world being able to get into the presentation was on point. So, Joey, I clap to you. I take my hat off to you. That was an outstanding job by you and Craig in regards to making sure that our customers were able to see and hear all of that in a timely fashion. Now, the next thing we have going on is the Tampa 2-Day. That's in a couple of weeks. How many weeks? About 3 weeks?
Like 2.
About 2 weeks. The Tampa 2-Day presentation. If you haven't signed up for that, we still have a discount on that. Tom's not going because he says no Tampa, no Tompkins. He's going to probably type that in the room. But he says no Tampa, no Tompkins. I won't be there, but you're going to be in hands of great people. Joey will be there. If you want to get to meet Joey will be there. And Trade Shark, no, it is not free, but it is a reduced rate. If you sign up now, there is a reduced rate. It's good to go up until, I think, you know what date it's good to? I think it's good until when it stops. Yeah, it's good.
There's only 10 seats left.
There's only 10 seats for live left?
14.
All right, for live left. But if you don't want to go in person, you can't make it to go in person, you can always do the live stream. You can always do the stream. I know I won't be there, Trade Shark. It'll be it's all right. All right. Michael says, "Good job, Glenn. Joey is a whipping boy for some." Yeah, he's my whipping boy. I love Joey to death. Joey is my guy, but he's the one that makes sure that everything in the background gets done properly. He does a great job of it. He really, really does. He does a great job. I may mess with him, but he's really good. He's come a long way learning, picking this up to be able to do what he does on his own. So I'm lucky that I have him to do this for me. Problem with live stream is they won't take any questions. Are we taking any questions?
We have moderators on the chat.
So the moderators will answer your questions, Michael, just like we did for the forum. Just like we did for the forum. I moderated a couple of the talks on Tuesday, so we will moderate. So someone will answer your question if you do have a question. How about that? The Patriots play on Saturday. Who cares about the Patriots, Brian? Nobody cares. They cheat. Patriots cheat. Yeah, I was told to stop. Nobody told you to stop last year, Jay. You just type in what your questions are. All right. So the forum was a great success. The next one coming up, our next big show is Tampa. Can I be a speaker at the Tampa 2-Day? No. So you know Jake is Brian.
Patriots fans.
Joey says no Patriots fans. So there you go. No Patriots fans allowed to talk. Sorry, wasn't my rules. Joey just made the rule up. I got to go by Joey's rules. All right. For those of you who are new, what do we do here at Trending Thursday? Trending Thursday is all about looking at stocks that are making the news. We analyze the stocks in VectorVest. We look at them and we help to corroborate or decorroborate the story. Is decorroborate a good word? No? I like it. Huh? That's a Glenism now. Decorroborate. To decorroborate the story. Niners are no longer number one in the NFC. How about those Saints? How about those Saints? And actually, Trade Shark, the road to the Super Bowl for the NFC may go through what is it? New Orleans. They're the Saints. Gosh. May have to go through, it may be going through there. So, whatever, we beat the Saints. That's all right. But the Saints look good. They have a quarterback that set records. You guys don't. That was, Dorothy said to Toto, I could not do this without the man behind the curtain. Joey is my wizard. Look at that, Joey. You're my wizard. You're going to be my wizard. You're going to be my wizard. He's a little guy.
And you're Dorothy.
Yeah, I'm not Dorothy. Wow. All right, let's get into it. Now that you got an understanding of what we do here, we're going to look at some stories in the news. And then I'm also going to take you through, as a VectorVest subscriber, how you can always stay on top of what's trending. All right, that's something that you guys can do. I use this methodology to help to find out the stocks that are making the news for the Trending Thursday. But I'm going to help you to stay on top of what's trending at all given times. Joey is mad whack. Brian is just talking bad about you. That's all. Michael says, give Joey a hug on the screen. Joey will never come on screen. Joey won't come on screen. So that's his prerogative. He's like Bobby Brown. That's his prerogative. All right. First thing we're always going to go ahead, Joey, sing it.
It's my prerogative.
Okay, there we go. He just saying his prerogative. First thing we always do, we check to see what's going on in the market. So when you open up the software and you come to the VectorVest home screen, this is the home page of the VectorVest software. It's laid out, we always call it laid out like the front page of your local newspaper where market timing is always the headline story. So we can see currently right now that our color guard is somewhat bullish. VectorVest not only tells you what's going on in the market, we give you guidance as to what's going on in the market as well. VectorVest right now does advocate buying safe undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. We're one of the only software out there that not only tells you what's going on in the market, but we do give you guidance depending on how you invest in the market. Here's our color guard. Our color guard is our traffic light into the market, by way of how many green lights, yellow lights, or red lights you have within it. We can clearly see we've got more green lights than anything. The market is showing more signs of being bullish than anything else. So you pay attention to that and you play the market accordingly. Our trend column shows us a short-term trend, which is the primary wave, and an intermediate trend called the underlying trend of the market, or the MTI. We're in an up situation across the board for the last 6 days. The slowest, most conservative call we have is the confirmed call. We are still currently in a confirmed up call. I was one taking the pick, not the guy taking a nap. You were taking a nap. That was you, Joey on Facebook.
Napping.
That wasn't Craig napping. That was you napping. All right. So we've got more of a bullish feel in the market. I asked this question. I have been asking this question for the past couple of months. What are the two things that are moving the market? All right, moving the market, but they're political. What are the two things? Well, one is political. No, they're both pertaining to the market. What are the two things that are moving the market? The peso is rising. That's in Mexico. What does that got to do with me? It's not what I'm saying, Jake. What are the two things that are moving the market? There you go. That's one of them. The trade deal. What else is moving the market besides the trade deal? Not tweets. Tweets are moving the market, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. What's the other thing that's moving beside the trade deal? I'm going to use my Duke cup while you're answering questions. That's for you, Rich. Go North Carolina. Trade and Brexit. Jerry, it's not Brexit. Brexit is a smaller part that could be affecting us, but not it. China deal is one. What's the second one? What's one of the three things that move markets? Earnings, interest, and what? Inflation. There we go. What is this? There, not earnings, Christian. Still another something that I'm looking for. And what does the Fed talk about? There you go. It's the Fed talking about what? So we got the China deal and we got the Fed talking about what? How about interest? How about the interest rates? All right, so those are the two things. More buyers and sellers. Oh, no, you got not the recession. Recession, nobody says we're getting into a recession yet. Supply, demand. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the other two things that are moving the market. Let's get into my stories. Let's start there. Oh, did I do it wrong, Joey? I did, didn't I?
No, keep going. Tab. One more. Here you go.
All right, let's get into the news stories.
Is that your first one? I don't think so.
That's not, but they don't see it yet. So good, now you see it. All right, so in regards to the trade deal, Mnuchin confident the U.S.-China will sign the deal next month. So as you know, we are in phase one of the China deal, where China is saying that they're going to buy more of our farm, especially soybeans, and they were going to work on some things as part of the deal as well. The Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, tells CNBC's David Faber that he's very confident the U.S. and China will sign a phase one trade deal in early January. That's big, and that's big for the market. So this trade deal that's been in the works probably for the last 2 years, all right, is now coming to fruition, and that's going to be not only good for the economy, but good for the market. These things, for the most part, are supposed to be good for the economy, but they are bleeding over into what's going on in the market. It's just going through what I consider to be a technical legal scrub, and we'll be releasing the document and signing it in the beginning of January. So that's one of them, all right, the trade deal. The next thing that's moving the market is the Fed and what they're going to do with interest rates. If they raise or lower interest rates, it does move the market. Well, that's one of the big three things that move markets globally. Earnings, interest, and inflation. Earnings is the good guys. As long as companies are making money and earnings are on the rise, we will be in a bull market. But interest and inflation are the bad guys, the Goldilocks scenario. Earnings is moving up, but interest and inflation are moving down. That is the pristine economy scenario. Now, in this case, interest rates are still at historic lows. That's a good thing. Inflation, no matter what anybody's telling you, things are starting to pick up in price. Inflation is starting to move up. The Fed still says that it's still well within their target range to not affect rates yet. Because when inflation gets to be an issue, what do? You start raising the interest rates to start to stave off a rampant an economy that's starting to run. When the economy is starting to run, people can charge more money for stuff. Inflation becomes an issue. So what do? You raise the interest rates to stave off an economy that's rocking and rolling. When the economy is all jacked up and you need to stimulate it, what do? You lower interest rates. Well, we've been lowering interest rates, even though in my personal opinion, we didn't need to because the economy is doing well. Well, what's the Fed's job? The Fed's job is to look at inflation and also to check the job market. We are at historical low rates for unemployment. So the job market overall looks good. Inflation, they're saying, is still within the range, their target range, before they have to do anything with interest rates. So if all of that is the case, we shouldn't have been reducing interest rates the way that we have. But let me tell you why we were. Because globally, other countries are looking at a possibility of a recession. We're one of the few that are not in that category, and that's because we have a thriving economy. Why? Because interest rates are still so low. So keeping our interest rates low, keeping our economy the best amongst the others in the globe are making us look like we're way ahead of the curve. But the president and other people along the same lines were saying, we need to lower the interest rates even to a 0 or below. Man, ask Japan. How well did that work out? All right. I never thought it would be in my time that we would ever see anybody say that we need to have 0 or negative interest rates? Well, nonetheless, the interest rates, whether they move up or move down, are a big part of the news that moves the market, but it's one of the three things in our economy that will move the economy. New York Fed's Williams says it would take a material change in the economy for the Fed to adjust the stance. Right now, they're on a wait-and-see path, all right? Another Fed, Richmond Fed, President Barkin says he could assess outlook on interest rates after the trade deal. So depending on what's going on with the trade deal could make a big difference in what the Fed does with the interest rates. So the two things that are making headlines is that's controlling the market, the trade deal we just took a look at in the news, and two Fed chiefs, the Richmond Fed president and the New York Fed chief talking about their stances on interest rates. So it looks like right now, interest rates will stay put unless something really big happens. How Jay Powell needs, you think that Jay Powell needs a Snickers now? Yes, he does, because he's hangry, he says. Wow. All right, so let's go look at two indicators within the software. I did it again. Two indicators within, let me just do it this way. I'll leave that alone. And let's go to the VectorVest software. We're going to look at a couple of indicators that we track the market with. Well, everybody knows about the spiders, all right? And we're going to also take a look at the VectorVest composite. Let's take a look at them on a graph. So we understand what's going on. The trade deal is good for the market. We can look at the spiders, the S&P 500, the index on that. Look at that. Market's running up. Over the last year, a new high was hit today on the S&P 500. I think that if I put on the last 10 years, I think overall we're hitting historical new highs. Look at the S&P 500 over the last, since 2010. Wow, Kev says I look so fresh and clean. That's because of Joey. Joey makes sure I do that. All right, so look at the S&P 500. Remember, it only looks at 500 stocks, though. I'm going to change this to the VectorVest composite, which looks at the movement of over 8,200 stocks. This is the indicator that we use to time the market. But look at it, running up just like the S&P 500 is doing. So the two things that are most worrisome in the market right now, the Fed rate and what's going on with the China deal, the market is still rock and rolling. So if I'm looking to buy stocks, now is still a good time. Look at this run up since October of this year. Look at the nice run up on the VectorVest composite. If I go back to the October of this year on the S&P, look at them both running. The market is in good form right now. But let me show you something else. And if you're not a VectorVest subscriber, you won't get this information. I'm going to put on an indicator known as the MTI, or market timing indicator. I'm going to go to add parameter, capital appreciation. I can't do it here. I got to do it on the market timing graph. I'm going to add a new graph, and I'm going to put it on the market timing graph. There we go. And now I'm going to put on the MTI. This is what we call the underlying trend of the market, and it is cast on a scale between 0 and 2. But when this indicator, let me put up the area, once this indicator gets to a level of about 1.5 to 1.6, the market is at a point where it's starting to look for a top. That happened back here too. Notice back in February earlier this year, the MTI was close to that level of looking for a top. All right, what was the MTI? About 1.61. It took a minute before it did fall, or soon after it did fall right here. It fell again, but the bigger fall happened here when the MTI did go below the value of 1, where the underlying trend of the market went down. But this is a good heads-up indicator prior to a market pulling back. We're at that level again. Notice that when we got to these levels, the MTI wasn't up there, but look at that run up on the MTI. The market is getting to a point where it's probably getting tired. As a VectorVest subscriber, again, this is great heads-up information. All right, so being that as it may, nice run up, but the market is getting to a point where it's starting to look for a top. You just keep that in the back of your mind. Joff says, when America is at a stage, the banker robber barons of old need to be paid to take and hold our money. We are in really bad shape, mentally and physically. Well, when is the time that we start putting money in the bank? When interest rates are high. Right now, the interest rates are low. Where are people putting the money? They're putting their money in the market. And a lot of them are doing it begrudgingly because they don't want to be in the market. But there's no other place for you to grow your money. Money goes where money grows. the money's got a better chance of growing in the stock market than it has in the bank. All right? All right. Any other questions? Nope. Let's go out to my next story. All right, oil. Oil poised near 3-month highs on the U.S.-China trade hopes. Again, China trade is affecting another part of the market. In this case, it is oil. Brent crude oils had slipped by 2 cents, and this was earlier today. A barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 4 cents to a price of $60.17. So let's go take a look at how we can track oil. All right, we're going to go back to our watch list. I have an indicator. How about U.S. oil? It's an ETF, U.S. oil fund ETF. Let's right click. Let's go look at the graph on it. And what's oil doing? Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Look at the run up. So look at the oil, the U.S. oil fund was in a little bit of a channel, broke out of that channel to the upside. Love that move. Could this be a good early move on oil? It could be. And now in regards to the VIX, Henry, the VIX is checking the volatility on the S&P 500. I'm not going to be worried about that right now. All I'm really worried about is the VIX right now tells me that there's not a lot of volatility in the market, not yet until it gets over the value of 15. It did jump up today. So the VIX, the big thing about looking at the VIX or the S&P 500 volatility, it tells me if the market is volatile as a whole. Remember, though, it is only cast on the S&P 500, but the rest of the indices, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, all take cue from that. All right, and normally when the VIX or the volatility in the S&P 500 is above the value of 15, the market is more volatile than not. And as long as it's below, the market not nearly as volatile. But I will take a look at that if you want me to. The oil fund, though, is on the rise. Oil could be a good play right now. Look at the move, the 3 and 8. We look at 3 and 8 exponential moving averages. The 3 and 8 crossed right here on 12.4. Was that a good play? I would have waited until here, where it broke above the level of resistance sitting at 12.24. Broke above right here, followed through right here. Beautiful. Not only that, we had a little bit of a hammer formation. The graph actually, and still kept on going. I like oil as a play. I would keep that in my, in ATM, I'm not ready yet. Joey, I'll write those down. I'm not ready for individual stocks yet. I will give you an opportunity to put them in. I'm not ready for them yet. Got to get through my stories first, ATM. All right, but I will get that. And Nugget, you want to look at that one too. Don't put your stocks in the room yet, all right, or else I'm not going to be able to keep up with them. So oil may not be a bad play right now. Keep your eyes on it. It looks like it's hinging on what's going on with the U.S. and China trade as well. Inventories, and also keep in mind what's going on with the weather. I'm going to look at the VIX real quick. It's not one of my stories, but I'm going to keep it with the USO. All right, volatility on the VIX. There's your level of when the market is considered to be in volatile territory. When it jumps above that value of 15. Look at where we are. We're not there, but we are bouncing off a level of support sitting at 1171. I am not ready to say that the market's in a volatile moment right now. What happened last year? You remember last year in the October to December time period when the market got all wicky-wacky and out of control? Look at this. Back in September, above the value of 15, the market got a lot more volatile. Going into that December time period, we went back and forth above that level of 15, where the market was considered to be more volatile. That's 19. Let me go back to 18. There we go. Here's that volatility period, 2018, towards the end when the market fell. All right, from October to December, look at the volatility. Above that value of 15, the market was definitely a lot more volatile getting into late December. The market fell off the most, but there was a lot of volatility. There was a lot of fear in the market during that time. And then coming into January, the volatility paired off. Going into later in the beginning quarter of the year, back and forth. And currently we are below that value of 15. The market is a lot less volatile. If you're going to play the VIX, play the bounce. Look at the 3 and the 8, not ready to pull it yet. In ATM, the impeachment, I don't think impeachment has as much to do with what's going on in the market as most people think it is. All right, most people at this particular point in time are tired of listening. Remember, I don't always want to talk politics in here because I'm not trying to open up any cans of worms or anything or Pandora's boxes in here. Politics is politics. Politics is going to do what politics is going to do. But I think from the standpoint of the impeachment, the president was officially impeached yesterday. Now it goes through the Senate. And I think that you can tell from the market timing or from the home page, he's got the home page. Due to the home page, the market is not, look at that, we're up today. Let's go to the Dow. All of the major indices are up today. All right, even after the president got impeached last night, look at that. All of the major indices are up. So this is why I say I don't think as many people are paying as much attention to the impeachment as you may think it is. So hopefully that makes sense. Normally in a situation when this happens, the market falls off the face of the earth. That ain't happening today. All right, so ATM, just keep that in mind. That's all I got to say. All right, let me go back out to the stories. All right, let's go to my next story. Big story going into... Is that the one I wanted, this one? Okay. Going into the Christmas season, FedEx got hit. All right, let's go take a look at what's going on. FedEx got hit. FedEx stock was down, and this was yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday. What's today's date? Today's the 19th. This is yesterday. Stock was down 7% after publishing a 40% drop in profit. All right, Amazon pivoting customers to rival delivery space. Revenue fell 3%. Also short of consensus. FedEx also cut its full year earnings per share forecast. So not only did they miss earnings, actually they missed the forward forecast. The forward forecast was not nearly as good, and boy did they feel it. All right, so FedEx is my next story, especially coming into the Christmas season. They're doing a lot of deliveries for Christmas. And you said it was earnings, so not only was it earnings, Trade Shark, it was actually forward forecasting as well. They got the double whammy, right? They got the double whammy jammy, right, Joe? Can you say that?
Double whammy.
Jammy.
Double whammy jammy.
They got the double whammy jammy. They missed earnings and forecasted was low. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to go back into the software, but we're going to do something a little different. I keep doing this. We're going to do something a little different today. I'm going to go to FedEx, and down below, where did Joey put it? Something that we don't look at much is the stock analysis report. We've been analyzing stocks in the watch list, but let's go use the stock analysis report. Let's go add in the symbol of FedEx, which is FDX. This gives you a full story on the stock. One, it's going to give you a 3-month view of the stock. Look at that. Over the last 3 months, it was trudging up higher. Look at after it missed earnings. Wham! It fall down, go boom! What did it do, Joey?
Fall down, go boom.
Not just boom, it fall down, go boom. Big drop yesterday. All right, that's in a 3-month graph. The industry got hurt by the move on the stock as well. All right, we'll go down and look at some of our indicators. The stock is recommended as a hold. All right, the value is at 133.42. The stock is currently trading over its value. That doesn't make it a bad thing. It just means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. The upside potential, RV, is an indicator of long-term price appreciation potential. Upside potential right now is at 0.84, which is poor on a scale between 0 and 2. What I'm looking for is a stock that's got a relative value above 1, tells me that it's going to outperform a AAA corporate bond about 3 years out, okay? How safe is the stock? Pretty fair. It's above 1, but not blowing above 1. Relative safety looks at the consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance. Does this company meet or exceed earnings quarter over quarter, year over year? At 1, it's okay. All right. Next indicator, is the stock in an uptrend or not? FDX has a relative timing of 0.93, which is fair on a scale between 0 and 2. In order for a stock to be in an uptrend, it needs to be above the value of 1, saying the stock is currently trending higher. Right now, below 1, it's okay, but unfavorable overall. All right, the master indicator, value, safety, and timing, it's got a value of 0.95, which on a scale is fair. I would rather have a stock when I'm looking at the full complement of the overall ranking. I want it to be above the value of 1. Comfort index, the stock's ability to resist long or lengthy price declines below the value of 1. It's not good, it's poor. This stock is susceptible to having long or lengthy price declines. All right, and all of the other indicators, we don't use this stock analysis report nearly as much as we should. This is only available to people who are VectorVest subscribers. Joey said, hey, we should use that today, and we are. Let's go look at a graph of it. Let's go back to the watch list. Let's go look at a graph of it. View the stock graph. We already saw it on the 3-month graph. We saw that big drop. Look at that. Look at the fall in earnings over the last year. The falling earnings a little bit over the last 3 months. Not the right time to be in FedEx. Not the right time. But I want to show you something. FedEx does have a level of support. It just broke through at 151.42. It's got another downside to this level of the low, which is currently at 137.78. Be careful with this if you're going to take to buy it. If you're going to think about trying to get in early, let it find a bottom first. Right now, I don't know if that's the case. Let it find a bottom. And Rich says it's going down to 137. That is my level of, you know something? I'm going to say, if nothing, that's the low point. I don't know if it's going to get down that low. I think too many people know that FedEx overall is a good company. Relative safety above 1. Where's my RV? Let's go look at the fundamentals. I'm going to add another parameter, capital appreciation. Let's go add RV. Put that up next to RT. Fundamentally, you're right. Fundamentally, the stock is not sound. Relative safety above 1, relative value, the upside potential is not there. The stock may have more downside, at least to that level of the low. All right, so as much as I don't like to prognosticate, Rich could be right on target. TradeShark could be right on target. It's got some downside to that level of the low. All right, let me close out of that, and let's go to the next story. Anybody got any questions? Let's go to the next story. All right, no news story. All right, let's talk about Boeing. Remember, we've been talking about Boeing a lot. Well, Boeing shares tumble after company suspends the 737 MAX production. 3 experts on what to watch. So now, as far as Boeing is concerned, they thought that they were going to be ungrounded, degrounded, inundated, that they were going to be off the ground by the end of December. Guess what? The air people, the FAA, said, no way. And right now, that's hurting them. Boeing suspends the 737 MAX production. That's harsh. That's a big thing for them. That was going to make a lot of money. Shares dropped again on Tuesday after the company said it would suspend the production. Right now, I would rather see this first quarter event. I think the fact that we've seen the shares pounded, despite that Boeing would have to suspend production, shows investors punishing them is not just for the news. All right, so that's huge. I don't know who this guy is talking, so I don't want to see him anymore. But that's huge. So now let's go and take a look at the stock. I keep doing this the wrong way. Doesn't matter. I don't know. Leave me alone. Doing it my way. All right, let's go look at Boeing. All right, let's go. How did you do it? You have it already down here as stock analysis. Let's go add in Boeing. BA. Let's peep that out. Here's the 3-month graph on it. Not so good. It does look like it's getting a bounce though, right? Does look like it's getting a bounce. It's affecting the industry as a whole, which is the aerospace and defense manufacturers. It is hurting that industry. This is the 3-month graph on that industry. Savings, I will look at individual stocks in a second. Not ready to take them yet. I am writing them down. I will write them down. I will take a look at your individual stocks. Let's go look. The stock is still currently undervalued. Here's the value. Excuse me, at 436. Stock's trading at 332. Stock still is an undervalued stock. Stock still does have good upside potential on a scale between 0 and 2 at 1.37. It should still outperform a AAA corporate bond. The stock safety. Fundamentally, the stock is good. What's hurting it is a plane, the 737 MAX. The company is still a solid company, except for the advent of the 737 and the unfortunate people who got killed in 2 crashes is what's bringing the stock down. but fundamentally the stock is still there. The stock, because it's getting beaten up, the relative timing is below the value of 1. Stock's in a downtrend. Comfort index, the stock is susceptible to longer lengthy price declines because the CI of 0.52 is below the value of 1. Raby says, hi Glenn, how much of a factor is Boeing now to the Dow? Well, it's a big part of the Dow. Remember, now the Dow tracks 500 stocks. It could help to be bringing the stock, the Dow down. Remember, I looked at the industry. It's helping to bring the industry as a whole down. If it's bringing down the industry, what do you think it could be doing to the Dow? As a Dow component, it is affecting the Dow adversely. What about GE? Safe to buy? Henry, we're going to look at GE in a second. Guys, don't put your stocks in the room now. We will look at them. Stop putting them in. I won't be able to get to them if you keep bringing them up now. Individual stocks, I will be looking at them. So hold off. I will let you know when it's okay to put the stocks. I appreciate them, and I am writing them down, but hold off on them right now. All right, so Boeing don't look so hot, right? Let's go back and look at its graph. Right-click, view the stock graph. Man, oh man, Boeing is in a downtrend. It was at a downtrend. It broke the downtrend. I'm going to take this same line, connect this. Boeing is straight up in a downtrend. All right, straight up in the downtrend. It's got a beautiful level of support, though. The beautiful level of support, take that off, delete, is sitting at about, what is that, 224.40? All right, or 324.40? I can't. Yeah, 324.49. 324.49 is a really good level of support. It got touched here, 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 here. That's a beautiful line of support. If you're trying to make some quick money on it, play the bounce off support. But understand it is in a downtrend. And notice that trend is getting lower and lower. Each time it gets back up to there, it's at a lower high. All right, so if it hits it again, it's still going to be at a lower high, which gives you a quick opportunity to get in and get out. And Trump called Muhlenberg on Sunday to ask what's going on. Listen, it is what it is. And, you know, fundamentally, I still think that Boeing's a good stock. Look at the earnings. The earnings are there. The relative value is there. The relative safety is there. Fundamentally, still a good stock. The 737 is hurting it. All right, any questions? Any questions? All right, let's get to my next story. Next story is Delta Airlines. How many of you watch, what's the show that comes on Saturdays, the college football show?
Game Day?
Yeah, Game Day. All of their hosts, all of their guests that they come in on what? Wheels Up. That's the plane that they send out to their guests to bring them to Game Day. Well, guess what? Delta Airlines takes a minority, it is a minority stake in a private jet operator, Wheels Up. That's huge for Wheels Up. All right, that's going to put a lot of infusion of money behind them. So I wanted to bring that up. I'm a college football fan, even though I forgot the name of the show. I'm a college football fan, and just to let you know, this is what they fly their guests on, the guests in on. Delta Airlines said it is buying a minority stake in Wheels Up, a private jet operator that will extend Delta's operations to more premium passengers. So not only do you get the people who fly Delta, but now they can get into another market of the rich and famous like Joey, where he'll fly Wheels Up to take his family on vacation, right, Joey? He's got an account. I know he does. All right, so that's kind of big story as well. Let's go take a look at the stock. Let's go to the stock analysis report. Okay, I don't know what just happened. What just happened? All right, let's go find it. Where is it? It's over here. All right, let's go look at Delta, DAL. Let's analyze it real quick. Okay, once it pops up, 3-month graph. Look at that bump up on Delta. All right, look at the industry, 3-month graph, like that. Look at the industry is rising, the stock is rising, stock is a buy. The stock is currently under its value. 79 is the value, the stock's at 58. Good upside potential at 1.42 on RV. Good safety with safety at 1.28. This stock, Delta, is fundamentally sound. Good Lord have mercy. And the stock is in an uptrend. This is a 3-time winner. RV, RS, RT, VST looks good. Good fair comfort index. It's still below 1. but not definitely way below 1. I like using the stock analysis for a quicker analysis of the stock. Let's go into the software. Let's go take a look at the graph. There you go. View the stock graph. I like it. All right, look at that nice run up. Put this on a 3-month graph. Look at that freehand line connecting the lows. Higher lows, higher highs. Stock is definitely in an uptrend. Today would be a good day to buy as long as you buy 12 cents higher than the high. The stock is trading right at resistance, right there though. Love the trending up, love the 3 and the 8 of cross. Man, oh man, everything looks good. 12 cents higher than the high before you get into it. Any questions? No? Excellent. Let's go to the next news story. All right, Disney Plus passes 22 million downloads on mobile devices. 22 million. Ooh. How many of you watched The Mandalorian? Type of me in the room. Raise your hand, Joey. All right, we watched it. How many of you watching The Mandalorian? Disney is kicking butt and taking names. Everybody was looking for Disney to come out. It's out. How long? It's been out less than a month. Couple of weeks? 3 weeks? Close to a month?
Over a month.
It's been over a month? 22 million downloads in over a month. Saborium says it is the way. That's right. You can tell who watches it. You can tell who watches it. All right. I have spoken. I have spoken. All right. And Trade Shark hasn't watched it. Typical. I pretty much understood that you wouldn't be watching it. But going to Epcot this weekend. There you go. All right. So, big thing about Disney is The Mandalorian. Very Star Warsy. Cool thing is, guess what? The last Star Wars movie comes out tomorrow. All right, I don't know how many of you are going to watch it. 7 episodes are out now. That's right, Barry. And I've been watching every one as it comes out every week. But now, hold on. Let's take Disney and move over to Netflix. Nearly 7% of Disney users with Netflix plan to cancel Netflix. That tells you a little something about this Disney wave. People are really digging the content that Disney has to provide. I'm going to keep both my Netflix and my Disney, and I'm also going to keep my Amazon Prime. Each one of them offers things that are germane to them. That's the word of the day, germane. Not Jermaine Jackson, though.
Oh, I know. I was going to say, I know Jermaine.
Not Jermaine Jackson. All right, there are certain things that I look at on each one of those. So, crushing Netflix. Let me tell you something. Netflix, everybody is still trying to catch Netflix. Netflix is the big boy. Disney can bring on all of the people that they're bringing on. They're still chasing Netflix, peeps. All right, let's check that out. All right. Huh? Somebody said germanosity. That's a Glenism. I want to bring up Netflix and I want to bring up Disney, and I'm going to bring them up side by side, as a matter of fact. View the stock graph. Show you a feature that we have. Let's go up here. I'm going to bring them up side by side so we can see them both. There's Netflix. There's Disney. All right. Look at the difference. Remember I just said that Netflix was the big boy? Look at the earnings on Netflix. Disney is still trying to catch Netflix. Look at the earnings on Disney. Look at the earnings on Netflix. Netflix is on a nice little run here. How about Disney? Even with the release of Disney Plus, what's the stock doing? So anybody who said that crushing Netflix, that was Trade Shark. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that it's crushing Netflix, not at this time. Not yet. Not yet. Until the graph can tell me a different story, Trade Shark, I'm not believing that. And I do believe that Disney is chasing the leader, which is Netflix. If I'm going to play either one, right now, based on the graph, I'm playing Netflix. Right now, looking at the graph of Disney, zooming in, it's moving sideways. Moving in, Netflix is the better play. Netflix still has the momentum, still has the rising earnings. All right, so it is the way. It is the way. It is the way. Right now, Netflix right now is the runner. It is the stock that just broke through a level of resistance, whereas Disney right now is trading in a channel. Disney is trading in a channel. It's got a lot of momentum, but trading in a channel. I'm not ready. Listen. I know that you're a more aggressive person, Trade Shark, But I'm not going to let, I'm going to show these people what's going on. Netflix is the way to go. Not everybody trades like you do, Rich. Not everybody's willing to get in and out of a trade by way of options for the short amount of time you are. So keeping that in mind, if I'm going to point anybody in the direction of anything, utilizing the software, Netflix is the way to go. All right, look at the performance graph. Netflix is strong with the force. That's another thing. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go to the graphs, and that's another thing. Man, I'm going to move over to a performance graph, and I'm going to put the two. Take off the VVC. I'm going to put the two. Netflix, man, and you know, no matter what you think, this is why you do your analysis. Let's go to Disney. Put them both on. Netflix, Disney. All right, put this on the last 3 months. What's outperforming? Netflix. If I'm a longer term investor though, I go to 1 year, how about Disney is outperforming? All right, what's my goal on the stock? Am I looking to be long term or am I looking to be short term? No, that's not what you were saying, Rich. I'm not talking to you right now. But if I'm a shorter term investor, 1 month, Netflix is definitely the way to go. 3 months, Netflix is definitely the way to go. 6 months, then you look at Disney. All right, but if I'm looking at the graph on a whole, the 3 month, Netflix is outperforming. If I'm checking the performance on an equal level, you may not be, you are comparing apples to peaches. No, I'm not. No, and I'm not yelling at you, Jay. I'm not yelling. All right, if I'm looking at it, oh, please don't close I just did. That was great, Joey. I just closed the program.
All right, and we're done here.
You know, we're not done here. I just need to open it back up. Can you open it back up?
Yeah, but I think I gotta close OBS.
Do you really? I can't just go to my home, can't go to, yeah. I can't just go here and open it up?
Right here.
There it is. Yeah, I did that. Sorry about that. I got all excited. Do you not know the password, Joey? Lord.
Yeah, I put it in at the beginning, so I didn't have to do it during.
Wow. All right. I'm really down to what I need to do now. So we're going to look at your stocks, and I'm going to show you one of the things. So I'm glad I got done. We don't have to worry about opening up all those other things. We're good now. All I need is that. Bring this over. Oh, however, all I need is that. How does it look up for them? How will it look? It's going to look good? All right, that's all I need. That's all I need. I just need that right there. All right, now start putting your stocks in the room. So now start putting your stocks in the room. I'm going to take a look at the stocks that you already put in. INPX, I hope that was it. Yep. Comma MDR, comma Nugget, NUGT, comma UNG. That's gas, right? Yeah, I thought so. Comma GE, comma. All right. All right, keep in mind, I want to give everybody an opportunity to look at stocks. I'm only going to take two. If you put more than two, I'm only taking your first two. USB, comma J's got IMPUI, comma, and I'm going to take beyond. Those are the two I'm taking from you, Jay. Alibaba, 3, Frontline, comma. All right, FRO. So the stocks that you guys were putting in, Bari put in one. I'm going to put in, Trade Shark. I took two from you already. Couple of new people. Janik, I'm going to put in LX, comma, and Bari, I'm going to put in KMB. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks. Put them on the 6-month graph. 3-month graph, 1 quarter. GE, man, moving sideways, not ready to pull the trigger on it yet. The 3 and the 8 are negative. The stock is at a level of support. I can draw my own level of support right about here. Look at that. Move that over. Can they see that? We can. All right. Stock is at a good level of support. Let's make that a little darker. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on GE just quite yet. I got a level of resistance sitting at the high, which is at the value of 1184. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on GE yet. I'm going to take a look at JNUG. All right. And I will take a look at Tesla. I'm not going to get all of these done. All right. So GE probably wouldn't touch right now. Not yet. Let the stock get closer to that level of resistance and break above. Not only that, let the 3 and the 8 give you a heads up to say it's time to get in. I do like that the earnings is higher than it was 3 months ago. MDR. Oof. Stock wasn't doing much of anything, broke out and retraced back down today. I'm not ready to touch it yet. And that whole idea with petroleum, if I have enough time today, I was gonna have a little something to talk about petroleum. Petroleum, I'm a little nervous about just quite now. Not ready to touch petroleum as a whole just quite yet. It did break out yesterday. Love the volume, the earnings per share higher than it was 3 months ago. Pull back. I got to have the stock break above at least this level of resistance sitting at $1.49. I have to have that because without that, this stock is still in no man's land or still within a channel. Not ready to touch anything in petroleum just quite yet because the industry is not looking so good. USB, another stock in a sideways move, retracing from resistance or the high, which was at 6101, 6111. I'm going to draw another line of a good level of support right about here. Good level of support. Man, I got some downside at least to this level of support, about $58. I'm not ready to touch this yet either. Pull back, look at the 3 and the 8 just turning bearish today. Not ready to touch that just quite yet. I love the earnings behind it though. Great. But the stock is not doing what it was doing before when it was moving higher. Now, I want to show you something else. As far as from this low, look at the trend line. The upward trend was broken for the stock to move sideways. All right, so the stock is not trending upward anymore. All right, the upward trend was broken. Stock overall is moving a tad bit sideways. A little bit indecision today. I do like the earnings per share though, but I don't like the stock's price action. Nordic, the transportation shippings are moving. NAT is not a bad looking play. If I'm going to look at NAT, I'm probably going to look at something like TNK as well. That's a good play. CMRE is another good play.
They may have to refresh it. Connected again, but.
All right, if you lost me, refresh. If you lost me, I'm not sure if you did. If you lost me, do a refresh on your screen. Trade stocks, financials will lead the sector in 2020. I don't know. You know I don't guess. And you know, that's not my deal. And every time Trade Shark, and I'll tell you the same thing, anytime you try to guess what the market's going to do, it's got a way of humbling you each and every time. I'm not going to say that the financials will lead the sector. What I will do is on a weekly basis, I will keep you in line with what's going on in the market. I will always do that. I will never try to guess at what's going to happen. And if financials do lead the sector, lead in the market next year, I'll be on top of that. I'm going to be on top of that. So I don't need to guess. I got the power of the software to keep you. Yeah, it is, Rich. That is a guess. As much as I know you and I like you and I love you, that's a guess. That you can't guarantee me that that's what's going to happen this year. You can't guarantee me. All right?
Next stop.
Huh?
Next stop.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's move to the next stock. Let's go to the next stock. KMB, also in a channel. Also in a channel. There's a level of support sitting right here at 134.65. Level of resistance at 138.11. Love the earnings per share. Right now, the stock is in the channel. Let it get out of its channel. The 3 and the 8 are about to cross bullish. Love the big up candle today. Very strong up day. Love to see if the 3 and the 8 to cross, and let's go see if we can break above that level of resistance. Glenn, use the star chart layout with the highways. I won't do that today, but you know I can always do that. If you go to the graph layouts and go to the star search, there it is. It's in the middle lane. It's in the middle lane, and the 20 is good to go. It's not ready. It's not in the fast lane yet. It's not in the fast lane yet. All right, if you're going to look at the star search, let's wait to see it gets in the fast lane first. It is not there. Oh, man, which one did I have? Is that mine? Yeah, that's mine now. All right, let's go to the next one. Frontline, shippers. Shippers are rocking and rolling. All it is about now is looking for the best shipper to take a look at. Frontline looks good. A little bit of a selling pressure. Look at the wick at the top. I don't want stochastics on here, but I do want earnings per share on here. There we go. And I'm going to put that into an area. There we go. I like the earnings on Frontline. I like the movement, the nice upward trend from this level of the low, higher lows. Stock is definitely in an uptrend. Definitely in an uptrend. Let's change that. Man, my voice is getting tired today. I don't know why. A little bit of selling pressure. 3 and 8 have done great on the end of day to keep you in it, even on the pullback days. Let's go to the next stock. Woo! Gas, getting ready. Getting ready, not there yet. It's bearish by way of the 3 and 8s exponential. Nice up day today, good volume. Love the up day with the volume. Volume is conviction. I need at least the 3 and 8 to cross before I pull the trigger. Who gave me UNG? All right, I need the 3 and 8 to cross before I'm ready to pull the trigger. Not ready to pull it yet. And the reason why is because I need some confirmation of the move. All right, a nice up day, I like that. I'm not ready to pull it yet. That's a preliminary, more aggressive move if you jump it now. Nothing's telling me it's okay yet, except for one day doesn't make a trend. Let's go to the next stock. Nugget, in a little bit of a channel. Look at that, in a little bit of a channel. So seven savings. Does that make sense, what I just said about UNG? I'm not ready to pull the trigger on it. One day doesn't make a trend. All right, I'm not ready to do it yet. Let's at least see the 3-8 to cross. Not only that, let's see it break above this level of resistance as well. That's more confirmation. If you want to not wait for that, at least wait for the 3-8. Hopefully that makes sense. 7 savings, does that make sense? All right, as we go to the next stock, Nugget in a channel, not ready to pull it yet. Woo, IMPUY, beautiful. In the Jockey Club, we're in this stock. All right, and we're in this stock in the Jockey Club. Today is not the day. Not only is it red day, it gapped down. But if you own the stock, like we do, the 3 and 8 still tell me to be careful. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. This is the beautiful thing about having stops in place. Keep your head focused and not on the swivel. Why are my lights looking like that? Don't put your head on the swivel. Keep your focus where it needs to be. Right now, one day does not make a trend. The 3 and 8 is still positive. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's good financially. Look at that earnings per share. Love the volume. It's got conviction. Today is just not the day. All right. Go to the next stock. VIPS. Love the stock. Right now, though, pulling back for 2 days in a row. Even with the pullback on good volume. So not only were people buying it when it was going up, people are selling it as it's going down. What does that tell me? The stock could be getting tired. The stock could be getting tired. Well, good way to manage this trade. Let the 3 and 8 on an end-of-day basis tell you when it's time to get out. Earnings are there, fundamentally good. The volume is there. Let the trade work to you. Don't try to jump the trade. All right? Let the trade come to you. The 3 and 8 are still in place. Sit tight. Whatever stops you have in place, make sure if they get stopped out, then you take the profit off the table. JNUG, gold, not ready yet. Again, moving sideways. We just looked at another one, didn't we? We looked at Nugget. All right, Nugget said the same exact thing. I'm not ready for gold yet. Look at that. Sideways move. I'd rather have you in a stock that's moving up or moving down more so than sitting in a channel. All right? Preliminarily, you say, hey, I want to get into gold because it's great. Who tells you it's great? Look at Nugget. Look at JNUG. Are they telling you that it's the right time to buy? Stop. Listen to what everybody else tells you. Analyze your stocks. Is anything there telling me it's time to get in? Not yet. Let the stock break through that resistance. Better yet, let's get the 3-8 to cross. It did that. Look at that. Rode it up to that resistance. Could have been a great opportunity to take your profit. Look at that. Pulled down the support. Good opportunity if you played it to the downside to get out. Then ride that. That's the beautiful thing about being in a channel. Play the retraces from resistance or the bounces off of support. You can do that. But as a long-term hold, not ready to jump on JNUG or Nugget yet. Wow, love Alibaba. Look at that equity curve. That is a nice 45-degree angle. Broke through a level of resistance, followed through. The 3 and 8 backed it up. That's confirmation of a trade before you pull the trigger. And the stock is still going up. Watch this, though. What's happening with the moving averages? The stock is moving up. What's happening with volume? Dun, 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 dun. Less people are excited about being in the stock. All right, if there's less buyers, what do you think is going to happen to the stock? All right, shares traded, that's buyers. If it's falling, what do you think is going to happen to the stock? Who gave me Alibaba? Not ready. I'm going to tell you if you're in it, be careful. I'm going to tell you if you're in it, be careful. Volume is drying up. Earnings looks great, but the people in it are drying up. That's all I got to say. All right? That's all I got to say. That's it. All right. Let's go to the next stock, IMPX. Woo! That's an 8-cent stock. Who's on an 8-cent stock? Number one. Number two, a stock like that is highly volatile. Highly, highly volatile, and that's what you're seeing is going on right here. The 3 and 8, if you're in it, man, you had a wild day yesterday. You've got bearish follow-through today. You got negative earnings. Be careful with it. I'm going to tell you that the 3 and 8 still look good, but nothing else about the stock looks good. Nothing else about the stock looks good. Just be careful with it. That's all I got to do. All right. LX, a little right at resistance. Right at resistance. Look at the run-up with the 3 and the 8. Right at resistance. Where did it turn back around? Right in that zone. Love the earnings per share. Just wait on that stock. If you're in it, let the 3 and the 8 manage it. If you're not in it, wait. All right, if you're not in it, wait. Beyond, we're in it. That was a preliminary, risky, aggressive play. It's making a little bit of money. The 3 and the 8 have crossed. The stock had been pushed down so much and so hard that I'm just thinking that this is more of a short squeeze and that people were saying it's enough time that the stock is going down. Love the earnings per share. High probability the stock is going to move up. In the Jockey Club, we're in this stock too. More of a swing trade. But look at the 3 and 8 on the end of day basis are positive. A little bit of a doji going on today. Volume is steadying out, and that's where we stand. Last stock, Tesla. Got above that price of 400 today. That level of recent resistance was at 362. Broke through, followed through, moving up. Love the earnings per share. Stock is going up on good volume. So there we go. And with that, I'm done. That's looking at all of your stocks. I'm only 2 minutes over. Joey is mad at me. That's all right. He'll get over it. Any stocks. So I looked at all of the stocks that you guys gave me for today. Hopefully. Now, the cool thing about it is I'm going to tell you what the graph tells me. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to give you the story that the graph gives me. Those are not my opinions. Those are all looking at what the graph is telling me. Looking at the analysis on the stock, what the analysis is telling me. I am just a facilitator, all right? If you are new, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all right? And if you are old and you still haven't done those things, please do those things. We're trying to grow our footprint on the YouTube. That's only going to happen by way of views. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, especially comment. If you comment, you like it, you don't like it, you want to see something else, whatever. I do the best that I can to answer a lot of your comments personally. All right, with that, thank you guys for being here. Tesla calls, bang. Tesla is a good play for calls. You know something? If I was playing the calls, I probably would have played the 365 coming off of here. That was that level of resistance. I probably would have played the 365. I'd been a happy individual right now. The 365 would have been a good way to go. All right. So with that, thank you guys for being here. When Joey puts these videos out, by all means, please comment on them. Please comment on them. Please comment on them. All right. You done talked my voice into being like this today, but it's all well worth it. Brett said, thanks, Glenn. Keep rocking and happy holidays. Thank you, guys. Oh, that's right. We won't be here.
I don't know. I took the day off. But
Joey took next Thursday off, so we'll make a call on whether or not we're going to be doing it next. Because without Joey, I can't do this. Joey is my guy. If he's off, Joey says I can do it. I can't do it. All right. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a Merry Christmas. Because by the time we come back, it'll be the day after Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Love your family. Spend time with your family. Because the next day is never promised to us. Always understand that. Love them now while you can. With that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Later, folks.